Hey friends, welcome to the second session of this MVC Razor workshop, and in this session I'm just going to discuss a live application that is user list and a demonstration of concepts of model view and controller. So let me start my Visual Studio 2010. Just go to start and we are having Microsoft Visual Studio 2010. Just click over it, and now here you are just going to file. In the file you'll just go to the new project option here. So it will open a window where you can just choose your templates from here. In my install template I'm just going to choose my Visual C# language to write my code, and at the top I'm just going to use framework 4, right? And here just look at this segment. Actually by default you will have this MVC2 web application, but after installing the template I'm having MVC3 web applications. So for this workshop I'm just going to choose MVC3 web application, and I'm just going to give a name MVC application with key prompt, right? So this is a simple name I have given, and I'm just going to save it in the by default document Visual Studio 2010 project, alright? And I'm just going to click OK. Now let's see what will happen. When you will click on OK, you will have an this window where you have to choose what kind of MVC application you want. You want an empty application or internet application or intranet application. I'm just going to choose internet, and just look at here we are having two view engines, what I have discussed already, that ASPX and Razor. So ASPX is the traditional approach where we are just using .aspx pages, whereas in the Razor we are using .cshtml pages, because in the Razor we are writing our C# scripting along with the HTML together on the one page. So the extension of the MVC Razor framework pages will be .cshtml, and here just look at this segment again. It offers create a unit test project feature. So if you will check this checkbox, then automatically the system will create a test driven environment for you and one test project along with our current project. So this is I just want to create my unit test project as well, and rest of the things release as it is, and just click on OK. Now let's see, our simple application is going to work, is going to open first time in your Visual Studio. You have to keep your hardware with high configuration because you are dealing with the high resolution graphics and very heavy applications. So if your system contains more than 2 GB RAM and more i3 or i4 processors, then you will feel like everything is quite fast. But like you can look at this, it is taking time. So now this is my sample application with the name. Just look at the name here. Here we are having the name of the application, that is MVC key prompt, right? MVC application with key prompt. So this is by default home controller. Look at this segment of application. Now this is your application which contains many things by default, and there is one more test case application. So this is the test project you are having, and this is your web project you are having. And just look at the folders. We are having a folder for controller, we are having a folder for model, we are having a folder for views. Apart from this we are having global file. To understand the process, first you have to understand the execution of the page in the MVC applications. So how this page is going to be executed. So when a user sends a request on the server, suppose that a user is writing www.something.com on the browser, then this request goes to the server and it attacks directly to the global file. This is the global application class file, global.asx file, which defines the routing processes for which view is going to open. So view is basically a user interface. So just look at this global class file where you can have this portion where you can find the complete root of the view which is going to open. So just look at this. Here we are having controller, so and then action, and then ID is optional here. So if you will not pass the ID, this value will not be visible on the address bar, and there will be the action and there will be the controller. So in the URL you will find there will be the controller, then there will be the controller, then there will be the action, and after that there will be the ID if it is there. So this will be tagged, and this will generate a request handler for the controller, and that request handler will generate the controller, and this is a controller like index which will activate the action. So that request handler will activate the action in the controller, and that action is responsible to open the view on the browser side. So in the MVC we are not hitting directly on the content, we are hitting directly on the business logic. So in the traditional data SPX application, in the N tier, in the 2 tier, you are directly hitting on the page, on the content, whereas in the MVC you are hitting on the business logics, not the content, and that business logic is responsible to open the view. So this is the global class file and controller class. Look at these segments. The model, and the model here is the account model. It's an inbuilt because it is a sample application. Here we are having the 2 controls available, and this is view where we are having account. These are the inbuilt processes. Inbuilt views have been given by the Microsoft. So these are the inbuilt application, and let me run this application. You can run by clicking on this green button, start debugging, F5, or you can go here, debug, and just start debugging. So let me debug this application, and execution process is going on right now. Just look at this segment, and here the build has been succeeded. So now this application in the ASP.NET Development Server is going to open in the browser. So let's see how this simple application seems. Yeah, first time it takes some time, but oops, oh, there is an error, unable to start program. Let's close once, and let's do this once more. Sometime it happens when your local host is not going to connect with your browser. Sometime it happens, but hope so, and this time we'll be getting connected. Yeah, congratulations. So now you can just check it out here at the address bar in the browser. It's just a port number with the local host, which is basically ASP.NET Development Server inbuilt in Visual Studio 2010. I'm not using IIS here, so that's why it is taking any port, a random port number it is generating, and it is taking a lot of time, but it's fine. It's going to come now. So just look at this sample application automatically. Wow, it's very beautiful. It's a blue color, the favorite of Microsoft even. So just look at this segment. Now if I'll click on the about, then just look at this in the address bar here. When I click on the about, so what is happening here? See, this is the controller, and this is the action, basically about action we have fired, and now there is a no slash here, so there is a no ID because that is optional. So what will be the URL format? You will have your server side, like your local host. After that you will have a controller, the name of the controller. Right now the name of the controller is home, and in the home we are having an action about. When you click on home like this, so it will again open it, and if I write it here, home, that is the name of the controller, and index, that is the name of the action, the same page will be open. So because by default, because it is mentioned already over there, so if we don't write this, still it will work, because by default it takes like this, right? If you'll click on the log on, then look at this page, that logon process is going on, and one page comes for the login. And just look at this part again, accounts. Account is again the name of the controller, and log on is an action. And here if you want to register a new user, you will have this form, and here just look at that. Account is a controller and register is an again action, which is written in the account controller class, right? So now this is a simple controller which is responsible to control the activity between the model and view. So what is the model exactly? Model is if you are dealing with the database, if you are dealing with your entities, then you are just going to define the properties and methods in the model. So that will be treating as handling of the database segment through the model. And the view is simple user interface, where we are just going to use HTML controls to draw the entire design, and controller in between handles the entire activity, maintain the actions, to have a communication between the model and the view. So this was a simple sample application. Now what exactly I want to develop my own, which will demonstrate a simple list. So for that I would request you to watch the third part of this workshop. So thank you, Keep Home Technologies. This is Satish Malhotra, and we are just going to meet in the next part 3 session for this workshop. Thank you very much.